8 years is time. 8 years is 2 full presidential terms. 8 years is the amount of time between you starting high school and graduating college. 8 years is enough time for the entire world as you know it to change completely. For you to change completely. And 8 years, hell, 8.5 by this point, is exactly how long some have waited to finally play this game. E3 2017. The Switch was still steaming hot off the grill. Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart Deluxe were already in our hands. Splatoon 2 and ARMS were very near in the horizon. A new 3D Mario game was only 4 months away. And despite the recent controversies surrounding Nintendo and AM2R, the Metroid community by far had its best day in nearly a decade. 2 Metroid projects were announced that day. The first being an official remake of Metroid 2 in the form of Samus Returns, and the other was the 4th game in the Metroid Prime series. And I, as a 12 going on 13-year-old average Joe, watched the internet collectively lose their mind over this game's announcement. Screaming, jumping, yelling, cussing, crying, all over a game series that very obviously meant a lot to them. Of course, I was watching all of this from a distance. I was 2 years away from playing my first Metroid game and 6 years away from playing my first Metroid Prime game. However, in those 8 years, I connected with this series on such a deep level and have so many defining memories to look back on. I vividly remember my first playthrough of Super Metroid in the summer of 2019. I remember the first few weeks of the pandemic and spending much of that time replaying Zero Mission over and over again. I remember losing my mind when the cancelled DS game Metroid Dread was finally announced. I remember waking up early to play Metroid Prime Remastered and being so excited to finally play this new and exciting take on a Metroid game. I remember the day that the world finally saw gameplay of Prime 4. The process of me learning and loving this series is going to go down as some of my favorite memories I have with this entire medium. And whenever I think back to my early high school days or the early stages of lockdown, Metroid, among many other things, will always spring to my mind as something that I look back on fondly. But those memories that I have with this series, or really any video game franchise that I connect with, there's definitely something to that. There's something so magical about the way that art can precisely capture a moment in time. All the emotions that you feel, all the thoughts that are running through your head, and all the things happening in your life at that specific moment in time will forever be encapsulated in this one thing. And throughout the course of my entire life, video games are an art form that have proven to be just as important to me and my life story as the songs I've listened to, the books that I've read, and the movies and TV shows that I got to experience. In many ways, it is the most important. And it is so for reasons that I would love to get into someday. 8 years is time. 8 years ago, on February 21st, 2017, I created this channel. I created it during a very difficult time in my childhood. Back then, my self-esteem, my self-image, and even my will to live was incredibly, dangerously low. I was having really dark thoughts, and I was having them all the time. I felt lonely, I felt worthless, and more than anything, I felt like a waste of a human being. Suffice to say, these were not my happiest days. And even at a point where I was at my lowest, there were still things during this period that kept me going. But the largest thing that got me through this dark age was, well, YouTube. I hung on to all these different things during that period, and I hung on to each one very tightly. But the way that I hung on to YouTube was so much different than the others. At a time where I felt so lonely and so worthless, I watched Johnny struggle to play Sonic Freeriders, or listened to Jaden talk about her irrational fears. And in that moment, these figures on my screen that I just so happened to stumble across by chance felt like friends. I connected with it in a way that was and still is so special. And as the months went by, I started to have this hope, this dream, that one day, someday, I would be able to become one of them. I remember thinking up scripts for games like Sonic 1 or the classic Mega Man series, but on one fateful day in the fall of 2021, I used this exact laptop that I got a few months prior. I stumbled across VSDC free video editor, and I started preparing the script for my first ever YouTube video. I really did underestimate just how much I would love doing this. I loved recording the voiceovers, I loved editing, and okay, well I still do kinda struggle with script writing, but that's okay, because by the time the video was out into the world, I was convinced that I had found my passion in life. I loved creating videos more than anything I had ever done, and that passion only grew with each one that I got to put out. For the next 4 years, I would make videos purely as a hobby. And again, I had such a blast bringing them to life and showing them to all of you. And it makes me so proud that a select few of them have managed to reach more people than I could have possibly imagined. I just love doing this. I love it so much. And that drive for creating has only gotten stronger and stronger with time. I still want to talk about and discuss so much. I still have so much left in me. But, like with most good things, they must come to an end. 8 years is time. 8 years ago, I was a 13-year-old boy. I'm now a 21-year-old man, and throughout those 8 years, I have grown so much. I don't think it's accurate to say that the shy, introverted 13-year-old is completely gone, but he has become more confident. He has become more willing to take risks, more willing to stand up for himself, and more knowledgeable about the way his mind works. Suffice it to say, he has become an entirely different person in that time. And this dream has been with me throughout that entire process. For pretty much most of my young adult life, I have been committed to making this dream an actual feasible thing. But like with any passion project, life just kept on getting in the way. The Colors DS video was made during a time when I was still in high school. I had just been hired at my first job. This was still during the COVID years, so I did have more free time to work on it, but with each passing year, it became more of a challenge to keep this dream going. Eventually, as some of you probably noticed, I would go months without posting anything. There would be these incredibly long gaps between videos, and while I felt bad about them at the time, I realized that things have just gotten so much busier for me. So fast forward to the current day. 2025 has proven to be an objectively bad year. Not just for me personally, but for a lot of people. For this channel specifically, I've only uploaded 3 videos this year, 2 of which being some of my longest videos yet, and 1 of which being made with the mentality that it would be my last video for a while. The 2-hour Sonic Colors review was made to be as big and grand as possible, and shortly after that video was posted, I transferred from a community college to a university, and I soon found out the hard way that university was going to take up a lot of my free time. Believe me, I really did try, but it simply would not be possible to complete the work that was required for me and fulfill this dream at the same time. And coming to grips with that was hard. I want to make this crystal clear for everyone watching. The only time I will ever formally announce that I quit making videos is when I'm dead. This does not mark the end for anything. The dream is not dead, nor will it ever die. But for now, it must be put to rest. All this to say, when I finally held the game case for Metroid Prime 4 in my hands, I had this intense wistfulness. Part of me got a tad bit emotional even. And that was because this game finally being released is so symbolic of so much finality in my life. I associate all the growth that I've experienced in these last 8 years with the entirety of the Switch generation. When it first came out, I was a sad, depressed child that had a dream and ambition. During the middle of its life, I finally realized that ambition and created so many positive memories in the process. And now that the system has received its final AAA release, it marks the finale of so many different things. It's the finale of the Switch, the finale of this chapter in my life, and the finale of this era of the channel. I try not to dwell on it too much, but it does make me sad. It is sad that I have to stop doing my favorite thing to do in the entire world. However, I also do feel this intense sense of pride that I was able to seek out this dream at all. Each of these videos have a bajillion memories associated with them. Memories that are captured and enshrined on the internet forever, for hundreds and potentially thousands of people to see and look back on. I know that's within reach. I know that's a possibility. And I know that it'll never truly leave me. It will always be here, in its original state. And even as I continue on through life, it will always be a part of me. It'll always be a reminder of just how much I love myself. And more than anything else, it stands as tangible proof that 8 years is time.